Yo, 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 y'all. This is the Naked Home Show podcast. Woo!
What's up, guys? Steve Carpenter, CMC Studio Production, live to you on Facebook, YouTube, later on Instagram, TikTok. Curtis Brown Realtor, Realty World Down Associates. Curtis Brown selling the town. 606-669-4638. All things real estate. Curtis Brown, what's up, my man?
Not a whole lot, boy. I'm glad we got a special guest with us tonight for sure.
Yes,
But
sir. Yes, sir.
we're writing acceptable winning offers about every day, and getting ready to go live with a brand new listing here for too long. So, and I don't know if anybody on the Naked Home Show podcast keeps up with our coffee shop, but we actually had some land clearing happening today, so it's getting ready to take off like a rocket.
Awesome. So the realty world's just not big enough for you, so you had to jump into something with the Hebrews coffee, just to make life interesting, I guess, right?
It's kind of like practice what you're preaching.
That's right.
I'm a fan about keeping your liquid or investing it, so that if you can make money while you're sleeping, that's the best thing, and that's how you truly hit, to where you get to live debt free for a while. So
That's right.
that's what we decided to do.
And I've heard that, you was talking about sleeping, making money while you're sleeping, but I've heard that the best part of waking up was going to be Hebrews in your cup. Is that that's going to be the slogan, I think?
That's probably the greatest commercial I've ever seen. We got to hurry up and come up with commercial number 2 for too long.
That's right. Well, Curtis, you mentioned a special guest. You got a special guest coming on with us today. Going to give us some more insight. Going to give the listeners, the viewers, a little bit more information about what's going on as far as a realty in the world of realty right now. Like I said, we try to make every show that we can with the most information. We try to share it and get this out to the listeners, and hopefully help somebody. Whether it be one person make a connection with any of this, or 100 people. So that's our main goal. So, why don't you introduce our special guest to us?
So, as y'all know, I'm always asking for people to reach out, or if you do anything in the real estate market. Or if you can help a realtor or their other agents, clients, whatever the case may be, I'd love to have you on the Naked Home Show podcast. So I got told last week that if I say she's going to be here, then she has to show up. So this week we have Katrina Salyers. She is with Republic State Mortgage in Danville. Been a lender for a long time in Danville, local. That's actually who we went through when me and Crystal bought our first home, or our home that we're in now in Halls Gap. So we love her to death.
Katrina Salyers, Republic State Mortgage. Are you on with us?
I am. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
Katrina, what we try to do on here, what our goal has been, is always be as informative as we can to people, letting people know what's really going on, what's really happening. It is a show Curtis came up with the Naked Home Show podcast, I think, just to grab some attention. But it's worked for us, and we just, like I said, we just try to make it interesting for folks and let them know what they're doing, what loans, how housing homes are sold and we're buying. We've done Curtis, sellers edition, buyers edition. Get to know, I don't know now. We're on episode 15, so we've done 15 weeks of this, and so far it's been really great. We've had returns. I know Curtis has had returns. I've had returns on it, and but the main thing is, when you're in it, and Katrina had been a realtor for years. And the main thing is that Curtis gets the enjoyment out of watching those people get their forever homes and trying to help the buyers out, help the sellers out. So Curtis, just hit her hard on it.
Well, I'm gonna take it easy. This first question. It's gonna be an easy question. We're gonna get the easy question out of the way, then we'll go on the hard stuff. Whenever a buyer calls for the very first time, if they haven't been watching Realtor and Zillow, that's first off amazing if they have not been doing that already. But the number one question I get is, where do I start? How do I do this? We know nothing about buying a house. So with that being said, I tell them, hey, you got to get with the lender first off. But if I have a buyer that comes to me and says, how do I start the home buying process? And I give them your number, what takes place?
Sure. So the first thing that I do is tell them that we need to start with an application, and we can do that three ways. I can either take their information over the phone, I can send them a link to just apply online, or some people still like to meet in person. And so I accommodate them in which way is the best for them. I want them to be the most comfortable. So
Okay. So if they was to call you on the phone, what number do they call?
859-749-3568.
There you go. So, so whenever I have a buyer call me and they say, "Hey, we want to look at a house," I can either send them to you directly through the phone, send them into your office, or you have a way that they can fill out something online via app, via website, something with their phone or computer.
Right. Yeah. I've got a link that I just send them directly, either text or email, and they just complete the application online and it comes directly back to me when they're finished. So, yeah, it's a pretty easy process.
So it's like mainstream.
On your office, Trina, where is that office located?
Yeah, it's in Danville. We're located at 1031 Houstonville Road, just right there on the main drag. Very easy to find.
If you turn by Fazoli's and you hit Red Wing, you went too far.
You got it.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Spin around, go on the right hand side.
Yeah, and we're on the opposite side of the road.
Right.
There you go. So okay. So this is another question I get from time to time. They typically don't ask, especially if they're like beginning entry level. Where do I begin? But some buyers, when they call me, they want to know, if the person's approachable, talkable, like gets along, like I can get along with everybody. So if I send them to you, what's something that you just hold tried and true whenever you're working deals with these buyers?
Yeah, so I'm personally invested with them as much as they are in the process. And you can look at my reviews. I mean, I treat them like family. I want what they want for them. I want that for them as well. So if they come to me and, for example, I look at all of their information and they're not quite ready, I'm going to get them ready. We're going to work on things. Maybe a 30-day process. It may be a 6-month process, but I invest in my people. I want them to have home ownership because that's the American dream. So I will work with them, and I feel like that most of my people will walk away saying, she treated me just like family.
Right. Trina, whenever somebody, if anybody just was to come to the office and walk through the doors, what's some of the things that, if they're headed over that way, they're already prepared to do something. So what is some few things that they may want to get together or have kind of handy that that would kind of narrow down that process time a little bit for them? What is a few things that would be handy for them to have?
Yeah, so it's very helpful. We can do it, just based on the information that they give us, but I am one that I like to do the investigation part up front. So I prefer to see their tax returns for 2 years, their W-2s for 2 years, and 30 days worth of pay stubs. A lot of people will say they're pre-qualified in 10 minutes of talking with them, but they've not seen anything. I like to see that stuff because I don't want somebody 2 weeks down the road in a contract say, oh, you don't make enough money. Yeah, it stresses Curtis out. We want to make it a smooth process. So those are the things that I would prefer to see up front, just so that we have an idea.
Yeah, and obviously Curtis knows getting more and more into it throughout many transactions now, and I've done lost count on how many he's got at this point in life. But you kind of do that, Curtis, as well. You kind of guide him as much as you know how to get all your stuff together, and before when you're thinking about going to these loan officers, go ahead and get this and this and this together so that it'll be helpful to them when they get there, and then kind of both parties kind of help each other out, and the goal is to make it like you said, make it seamless and to make it as friendly and nice and easy as possible for those people.
Yeah, because that's like whenever we get under contract, number two question after everything has happened, how quick do you think we get to move in?
Right.
So, and
Yeah.
that's what I tell all of my buyers. Listen, it runs. Yes, it does run as fast as the lenders do, but most lenders, especially ones that I've got, a relationship with, they all work as quickly about as you do. So I tell my buyers, hey, the quicker you get them the W-2s, the quicker you get them your paycheck stubs, the quicker you get them tax information, whatever they're asking for. If they have everything sitting on their desk, whereas all they got to do is input, 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 then that speeds this up a whole lot. Now, if it takes you 10 weeks to send over a document, we ain't closing until at least 10 weeks or at least 11.
Right.
So, and that typically rings, registers like, okay, so it's on me. And once I get everything over, then we can ask for updates, just kind of go through the process. So that's definitely important right there. I'll tell you that, having all that up front.
Very.
Katrina, what is some of the loans? I know on your websites and your things that you've sent out, RHS, VA loans, KHC loans. What can you tell us about how those operate? I know you probably got many more than that, but some of the highlighted ones. How are those operating? And if there's somebody out there looking that don't think that they can do it, or I know one thing that I've noticed, and I'm kind of intrigued by it. I'm kind of wanting to know the answer to this one as well. The no down payment required.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about those?
So the RHS, or it's also known as USDA, there's no down payment required at all on that loan. It is an income-based loan, so the household income has to be below a certain limit, and it's based on household size. So that's one that's just it's a flat 100% financing. VA is another one that there's no down payment required if you're a veteran. Great loan. But then there's a conventional loan and an FHA loan that they do require down payment, but through Kentucky Housing, we can get down payment assistance up to $7,500. And depending on that household income, or actually applicant income, that down payment loan is at 1% interest or 3.75% interest. So great programs. We do a lot of Kentucky Housing. I'm personally a top lender with them, and then our company is as well.
Now, is there the rates and the way that those operate? Do they change periodically? Is it driven by the interest rates and so forth? Is that how they operate, or is it just what could change from this time? We're hitting October. We're hitting right at October now. So what is some things that you've seen maybe that has changed since, the first part of this year on into what we're into right now, and kind of just for some information to see what could happen another 6 months from now?
Yeah, so obviously, everybody knows that rates have increased. Kentucky Housing is the same. So they set their own rates. So they are running about 6.75. But, it's a very, very good program. And I don't want people to get hung up on interest rates. When I first started selling real estate in 2000, interest rates were 8%. So, we're still good. I wouldn't let that deter me from buying a house. You can always refinance it in a couple of years, and don't let the rate make you lose out on the home of your dreams.
Right.
Let's Curtis find you that house and let's get you in there, and we'll notify you when the rates drop, and we can refinance it at that time.
Yeah, I've been a product of that myself. I think I want to think 6.375 was my first home. Mm-hmm. You probably remember better than I do, but yeah, that's one thing that I stayed in that one for 3 years, I think it was, and then I was saddened by the fact that due to the loan that I'd done, I actually got the same one, but it wasn't too long after that was being able to refinance and get that knocked down. So yeah, that's always a better thing, and like you say, don't ever get held up on the fact that this is the worst time ever to buy. It's still buying time.
Yes.
It's still selling time. So, like you say, in a couple of years from now, who knows what's going to go on? But if the housing market lays low for a little bit, hopefully it don't, Curtis. But if it does lay low a little bit and the interest rates come back down, then it's perfect time to refi. And like you say, the good thing about it, I still get, I guess it's your monthly newsletters that you email me all the time.
Yeah.
And I always look at them. Not that I'm really necessarily planning on doing anything, Curtis. I'm not going to sell my house right now, but
Yeah, we are.
But I always look at it, So it's interesting to keep up, because if I ever, and I'm the type of person when I get ready to sell a house, if I say today I'm going to sell it, hey, it's going on the market as fast as I can get it there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the way I've always been, and but it kind of worked for me.
So that's probably what I hear the most of. Oh my gosh, it's not 3%. Like I can't help that we didn't buy a house last year. Last year probably wasn't our time, and I sometimes I got to have the conversation with buyers. That it's not always the perfect time depending on your circumstances. And I know it's a very exciting time, but if it's gonna, like, I'm a firm believer there's no need to be in house broke. There's too much life to be lived other than making a house payment.
Right.
So if it's going to bust you up and make you where you can't even enjoy a trip with your family, for me, it just ain't the time right now. But what that is, and I preach this on the other spectrum, listen, if it is the time that we can still buy, let's find the house that you love that's going to suit your family for at least 5 to 7 years. That's the typical turnover rate anyways. And as soon as rates go down, with just like Katrina was saying, she sends out, she'll keep you in the loop on that. So if the rates drop, boom, all you got to do is you're already connected with her. Start the refi process. Right. Then you got the house you want, plus you got a rate you want. That drops your payment down, and that's going to free you up to where you can live life a little bit more. So there's all different ways to run this thing. It's just knowing who to talk to and getting through the process. It's still a process. I try to make it as absolute fun as we can. Just like right now, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I'm like walking through my house. I have my daughter Carolina, so there's no smoke screen. Like, listen, I'm as real as it gets. But right now she needs a bubble bath, so we're on the Naked Home Show podcast. She's getting a bubble bath. So, but at the end of the day, what we've tried to do from day one is make sure people know and have the information, and that's all that matters for me. So, so this is all good. So you went over the down payment assistance loans. I know that's becoming a big thing, and that's really an awesome thing, especially for first-time home buyers or people that's, kind of borderline whether or not they can afford it with the cash to close or not. So that's always real good. As far as like the veteran loans, because I do a lot of them, Katrina, is there anything in particular about those or a way that we can help them out anymore? I just don't know if there's any programs out right now, but if there is there anything you can touch on that?
What loan did you say, Curtis? Conventional?
No, the veteran.
Oh,
VA loans. I love them.
Yes. And I love them too. Of course, they have to qualify, but all they need to give me for me to see if they do qualify is a DD-214. A veteran's going to know what that is. I take that form. I order their certificate of eligibility for them. And as long as they qualify for that, we will definitely go that route. I'm sorry, but you're getting me tickled.
I'm over here getting splashed by the bubble bath princess. So,
yeah, this time probably, I don't know, episode 32 is probably going to be giving bubble baths, talking real estate, talking loans, drinking some Hebrews coffee, doing a little bit of it all. This guy, if you guys can't tell how hard that Curtis would work for you, you can kind of see his life right now. He's a busy man, and he just stays after it. And it's always, on the forefront of his mind. Even though he is a family man, he's a married man. And most importantly, that is what he tries to tend to first and foremost. But he is all about the real estate. He is all about trying to help you guys out, and combine with him, our guest and myself as well. We're trying to get it out there to you. But we are talking with their special guest that you cannot see. And Trina, I don't know if you've seen that comment that I put up there earlier from Donna. She said, "Hey, Katrina, I was hoping to see your beautiful face." We tried to get her to do this, but she didn't do it. But maybe next time. But yeah, we are talking with Katrina Salyers from Republic State Mortgage, 859-749-3568. You guys need anything, information, a loan, any kind of dealing with home buying or just like I said, any information that you need, give this lady a call. She's a great lady. I know her personally. I usually consider her to be my sister that I never had. But yeah, she's helped me along the way for a lot of, I guess around 20 years. So quite some time there, Trina.
Yes, that's right.
Curtis, at one point, I remember, I'll say this, I remember her sitting at the house, at Mom and Dad's house, trying her best to get me to go to school with her and take this realty
Yes.
license and all this stuff. And I said, no, that's just not for me. But 22 years later, here we are talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Should have done it, bro.
Yeah, you should have done it. Real estate has been the biggest and best blessing that I could have ever had, that I know of, for right now in this season. But probably the best thing above everything is whenever you get to take a first-time home buyer or a veteran that's been overseas and bring them home and give them the keys to their house, just the look on their faces, it seals the deal, man. It makes you really understand why I do what I do. So, and it's the same way for these lenders,
Today, Katrina, in today's world, what is one thing that you would, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot by no means, but what is one thing that you could try to encourage or tell somebody if they're on the fence about, is this the time for me, or can I afford it, or how, the loans that's out there? What is one thing that you could tell them that would maybe encourage them to go ahead and make that initial phone call, either to a realtor or to a loan officer, and just to get the ball kind of rolling and get the process started? What could you say to them?
Well, and you kind of touched on it. That's it. They need to look into it. So they need to talk to me. They need to talk to Curtis to see where it all falls into place for them. We can run numbers. We can see if it's something that they're comfortable with. Because I will tell every customer that I talk with, I want you to be comfortable. I'm not making your monthly payment. You are. Right. So I want you to be comfortable. And if it's not the time for them, I do not pressure them. I don't feel like Curtis would either. But let's talk about it. Let's run the numbers. Let's see where you're at. See if it's a move that you want to make. And if so, we move forward. If not, we'll get back together in 6 months or a year and go from there.
Right.
No, so the only policy I have, sorry, I know it's crazy. I keep going in and out. My phone keeps going in and out. It's wild.
I'm just waiting on one to take a bath.
The only policy I have is no tears at the closing table unless they're happy tears. If they're sad tears, it may not be the time to move. So, at the end of the day, that's what I tell everybody. If you cannot afford the house and still be able to live a little life,
right?
Then it just ain't. It just ain't there. There's so much to life, and we get one life to live. So if you feel like you're just strapped and you can't even see the glory of like a lease changing in Tennessee or maybe an ocean trip from time to time, it's your call at the end of the day. I'll help you through it, but I don't know if I'd say I talked you out of it, but there's a whole lot more to life, So.
I 100% agree. Yes.
Luke Smith, you might be the next one on here, so be planning on it, brother. Again, we are here with Curtis Brown Realtor, Realty World Down Associates, 606-669-4638. Curtis Brown, selling the town, all things real estate. Give that guy a call. If you need more information, Katrina Salyers, Republic State Mortgage, 859-749-3568. Give her a call. Let them lead you, guide you, and just give some good, honest information to you. If there's two people that you can really trust in the world, I know one of them definitely, and I'll not even mention which one, so I'll let them fight that battle out. I just wanted to throw that out there. But Trina, we are glad that you joined us today, and hopefully, Curtis, it's one of them things that I think that like we said at the beginning, or was telling Katrina about it. There'll probably be around, I'm hoping, close to 1,000 people will see this, and if it's just that one person that contacts one of y'all, it's well worth us putting our time and effort into doing this. So, but we do appreciate you, Katrina, and we don't want to wear you out because we do want you back for more. Maybe the next time that you get on with us, we'll do it a little bit more in depth on each loan and see how kind of they're operating.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, I've probably mopped up a 5-gallon bucket of water because she knows if I wasn't busy, she wouldn't be allowed to do that. So this is what I'll say. Katrina, final thoughts, last thoughts, give your name, your email address, where you're located, whatever you want someone to know as far as reaching out to them.
Sure. So I can be reached on my cell phone, 859-749-3568. My email is ksalyers@rsmc.net. You can find me at the office, 1031 Houstonville Road in Danville. Love to talk to you. Even if it's something that you're not ready, you just want to talk and see about getting ready, feel free to reach out. Be glad to help you. I appreciate you guys.
And guys, I will say this, Curtis and I have talked in the past. Trina was, and I'm going to pick on you a little bit, Trina, because I know you don't care. But Trina was really kind of nervous about being on here. But we want to make this an experience that we can all have fun with. Obviously, Curtis is having a blast tonight. But we want to make it as easy as possible. So if you guys, and I know we've said this before, if you guys are interested in being on there, give us a call here in the studio. It's 859-324-5533. We'd be glad to talk with you, go over all the details with you to get you on here. If you want to join with Curtis, I do ask that you get Curtis's permission, and you can be on Curtis's show. But if you're interested in talking with us and starting your own, give us a call. Curtis, take us in.
Take us in or take us out?
Take us in depth with what you want to say so we can get up out of here.
Okay, so I'll just say this. Listen, y'all, real estate market is still phenomenal. We've got 3 or 4 under escrow this week. So the market is still moving. So if you're thinking of selling, listen, give me a call. Let's run some numbers, talk about it. Give me a shot, and I'll show you what I can do. 606-669-4638. If you're looking to buy, first thing you got to do is get you a hold of a good lender that's going to work with you and help you through the process. Katrina Salyers is a great one. Her number's on here, 859-749-3568. I got a list of home inspectors, painters, workers, anything you need that's part of a real estate transaction. We just find each hurdle and cross over it. So if you're looking to buy, I'll help you every step of the process. 606-669-4638. As always, Katrina, thank you so much for jumping on. Stephen, another great episode. I appreciate you, brother.
Guys, we appreciate you all watching. And until next time, we're going to get out of here.
See y'all. Sorry, it is what it is.